Hello, everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good day, wherever you're joining us from. So we're still waiting for more people to join. This is just 2 or 3. So we'll wait for 3 more minutes or 4 more minutes. Hopefully, other people join so we can start. We have two presenters today, and we really want to, finish up in time. It's the weekend, so everyone can get back to their normal activities. But in the meantime, I'm going to send a reminder to for more people to join, and you can do that in 1 or 2 minutes from your end as well. Just sharing a reminder for other people to join so we can start. Thank you.
Aisha,
Yeah, I'm here. I'm just going to go ahead and start. The good
how-
thing,
but I don't know, but from my ending, like it's just us. Do we have more participants?
yeah, we're trying to get the other speakers to join and other people. I don't
Wow,
know what's,
it's very strange. Like, I mean, no one entering even from my ending. Like,
yeah,
I have like some friends that they said they would join. I already sent the reminder, so I don't know what's happening.
uh,
Maybe
same
should
here.
we postpone it? I don't know.
No, we can't postpone it because the meeting is recorded. So even if we have low turnout, I mean, people can always access the recording. That's why it's being recorded.
Okay,
Yeah, the recording is on already. So,
okay.
yeah.
Let's just wait then.
Uh, yeah, we have to factor in time as well. So maybe I will just start in 2 minutes, regardless of who joins or not.
Okay,
Yeah, thanks.
whenever you're ready.
Um, it's 2 minutes already, so I guess we can start. Come in and try to fix my slide. Okay, so hello everyone. Welcome to today's session. And we have some come in just a minute. Take this thing off my background. Okay, yes. So my name is Aisha and I'll be your moderator for today. And then we have some ground rules. And please mute your mic. I can see that everyone's mic is muted as well. And all communication should be done with respect. And please introduce yourself in the chat. Okay, since my hands are going to be busy, I'll just introduce myself. My name is Aisha. I'm from Nigeria and I'm part of the migraine team. So if you can do the same in the chat, I would really appreciate that. So for today's webinar, we're just going to go really fast because I don't know. I don't know whether to classify this as technical issues or I don't really know how to classify it, but the turnout is a bit low. Then we're just going to go ahead with introduction. And we're supposed to do like a Mentimeter to show how well the participants know Africa, because that's the continent that we're dealing with. But we're just going to skip the Mentimeter and the icebreaker for now. And then we're supposed to have two speakers, but just one is present now. And if by the time the first speaker is done with her presentation, the second speaker joins, then we'll have two speakers. But if at all the second speaker is not able to join, then we'll just have one speaker for today, and then we'll move ahead with question and answer, and then we'll do like a closing remark. We'll do like a closing remark. Okay. I'm trying to go to the next slide. Please, if you're just joining us, please kindly introduce yourself in the chat. I'm not sure what's wrong with this slides. Happens almost every time. I'm just going to stop sharing for a bit and okay, can everyone see my screen?
Yes.
Okay. Hopefully it works now. Okay, so for the introduction, I'm just going to say a bit about migraine. So migraine is an organization that is focused on creating climate awareness and promoting clean technology solutions to combat climate change in Africa. Our mission is to build a community of network of people, like-minded community, people who are also in the business or passion of climate change and also building a sustainable Africa. So currently we're running an energy series which was born out of curiosity because we realized that there is a knowledge gap that exists among African youth, especially amongst in terms of the actions that people are taking in their country, the government, stakeholders and civil society organization, the actions that they are taking to solve climate change and achieve net zero by 2050 or 2060. So people do not really know, especially the young people, they don't really know completely what their country is taking in terms of action, not to even talk of what other countries in Africa. So far, the main aim of this series is just to address the knowledge gap and also to connect with people who are working in the climate space and also promoting actions towards net zero at 2050. So our aim is simple: to educate, forge partnership between countries for the greater good of the continent, which is Africa. And so far, we have done I think if I get my numbers right, I think we've done 10 countries or more out of the 54 African countries, and we intend to, you know, showcase action that is going on in each African country. That's why we're bringing up indigenous speakers who are young people to come and share their knowledge about the actions that their country is taking just to achieve net zero. So that is the main aim of this Africa Energy series by Margaret. So in the next slide, I'm supposed to be introducing the team, but the slide is messing up yet again. So I'll just try to move it to the next slide, just so we're on the same page. Not sure why this is happening. Okay, so this is the team. We have Maidora Kamara, who is our program coordinator. She's from Sierra Leone, and we have Georgette Celestine Odo from Nigeria, who is our technical coordinator, and myself, who is in charge of communication and partnerships. I was supposed to do a Mentimeter, I said it earlier, but we're just going to skip that for this week. We usually do it every week or every session that we have, but for today, we're just going to skip it because of time. We already wasted 20 minutes out of our time. So we have two speakers for today. And the first speaker is Katia. She, received her first degree in civil engineering. She's from Cape Verde, and she has worked as a civil engineer for 3 years while promoting sustainable practice in the field of energy. And she has a master's in energy and green hydrogen with specialization in economics, policy, and infrastructure. She is also the finance officer of Whitegate Rule, and she's recently been employed as a research assistant at the chair of management accounting at RWTH, Aachen University in Germany, where she's also registered as a PhD candidate. And then coming up next, we have, hopefully he joins us. We have Ali, Alhaj Ali Abdulkarim. He's from Chad, and from his bio here, he's a young climate activist and also a farmer, but his main passion is in agriculture, particularly, like gardening, and he's been doing that since his childhood. And his main aim is just to like help people in difficult situations, especially in the agricultural sector, to create awareness for young people in schools and university in the fight against climate change and, natural resource protection. So without wasting much time, we're going to, I'll stop sharing my screen and I'll give room for the first speaker, hopefully not the only speaker for today, to, start her presentation, which is supposed to be for 15-20 minutes. So I'll stop sharing now, so Katia can share her screen. So thank you. You are muted in case you're talking.
Hi, Aisha. Sorry. Thank you so much for the introduction. Let me just see where can I share. Okay, here. Okay. Okay. Is it okay now?
Yeah, it's okay.
So thank you very much for the introduction. And also thank you for the invitation. It was a pleasure to be invited to be here. I have been following the Migraine Africa Energy series whenever I can, so I could not only learn more about the energy situation of the different countries, but also to get to know a little bit some random information through your meter, so Mentimeter. So I was actually curious for today ones, but since we are not having it, it's okay too. So today I will provide a brief overview about Cape Verde and hopefully, one moment, please. Okay, and hopefully, I'll get to give people all the basic information about Cape Verde energy system. So first of all, my presentation will be very short, but I believe that will cover all uh, the essential information that someone needs to know regarding energy, the energy system. So first of all, we'll start by a brief introduction about the country. They talk about the energy situation, uh, contextualize a little bit about the climate change impacts in Cape Islands and the overall islands, the government initiative and policies, and finally, I will conclude my presentation by presenting the challenges and opportunities that Cape Verde and also a lot of islands are facing regarding the deployment of renewable energy. So it's a shame that not everyone, not a lot of people are in this in the webinar today, but I'm sure you will share this presentation in your platform, so maybe it can be reachable for everyone. So Cape Verde is not a very well-known country, even inside the African context. Uh, I don't know the reason. Maybe because of the very small population. I don't know. So first of all, Cape Verde is a small archipelago composed of 10 main islands, and it's located approximately 500 kilometers from the West African coast. The nearest country to Cape Verde is Senegal, is actually from where it takes its own name. So we have a population about less than 500,000 inhabitants, but we actually have the double of the population living outside, living abroad, because immigration is a very common trend in Cape Verde, a very small surface. Um, the capital of Cape Verde is located in Santiago Island, and Santiago is actually home for more than I think half of the population of the whole country. Proudly, I think we have one of the Africa's highest human development index. I think we are in the top 10. A very young population also. In Cape Verde, we speak mainly Creole as our mother language, and we also have Portuguese as our official language. Cape Verde is also part of a group called the Small Islands Developing States, and also is part of uh, the famous ECOWAS, member of ECOWAS. So concerning the energy situation itself, so Cape Verde energy system is characterized by its insularity. So basically, we have nine different power systems because each one of the islands have its own power system. Uh, the fuel distribution is basically mainly in three islands, São Vicente, Santiago, and South, and then it's distributed to the other islands. As you can see from this picture, Cape Verde is highly reliant on imported fossil fuels, uh, and it's basically mainly consumed in the transport and the power sector. We have also 50% of biomass consumption, but this biomass it's not renewable is the consumption is the burning of wood fuel, so it's not sustainable and it poses a main challenge because Cape Verde has very limited forest resource. So the consumption of biofuels is one of the things that is in the agenda to be reduced in the upcoming years. We also have around 40% of renewable energy production, namely solar and wind. Even though it's a very small share in the total energy supply, but it represents around 20% of the total electricity produced uh, in Cape Verde. So I don't know if in the picture you can see. I just wanted to let me see if, if I can point it. I don't know how to do it. I just wanted to point out that only five islands in Cape Verde have renewable energy installations, so not all the islands is still covered. Yeah, so going to so now coming to the to the climate context, climate change context. So Cape Verde is an island, and according to the IPCC, islands are among the regions of the world most affected by climate change. The high reliance on fossil fuels, it's not only a challenge in terms of economy. I forgot actually to mention in the other slide that Cape Verde suffers a lot with fuel prices volatility because it's dependent on the on the world external markets. For instance, we have the case of, I think everywhere, but islands are a little bit more affected by that, especially because we imported not only the fuel, but we also imported um, the majority of our goods. So whenever whatever is happening outside, it double affects the country. We have the case of COVID, we have the case of Russia's and its Ukraine war. So it's the country is very vulnerable to the world external markets situation. So and that's why we have one of the highest electricity prices in the world. And in the same context as it's affecting the economy, it's also affecting uh, it is affecting our climate. So according to the IPCC, islands are mainly affected by increasing temperature, tropical cyclones, storm surges, droughts, changing precipitation patterns, sea level rises, coral bleaching, and invasive species. I highlighted here Cape Verde mainly uh, changes due to climate change, and one of them mostly affecting is drought. Cape Verde is living uh, in the past years, I believe, very severe drought, and it's mainly due to climate change and changes in the precipitation pattern. I think all West Africans have a seasonable rain period that goes maybe 2 more years, and it's the same with Cape Verde. But in the past years, I remember when I was a child, it used to rain very frequently. But in the past years, this rain has reduced in a considerable manner. Maybe now we have less than 1 month of significant rain. It's also the same with increasing temperature. Cape Verde now is very hot, even though we have temperatures around 32, but because of humidity, you feel like it's even worse. And we are also subject to the sea level rise. That is one of the possible catastrophic events coming from the climate change. The government of Cape Verde is actually aware of that, and uh, it has some it has some renewable energy strategies or concern. Sorry. So it has this focal point on their agenda. So first of all, for the power sector, the government wants to reach the goal of having 30% of electricity by 2030 coming from renewable energy sources, and they want to overpass 50% of renewable electricity by 2030 as required by the COP21. So uh, the government has a set of strategies and specific for one of which one of the islands because every the islands have different energy patterns and different energy demands. So, but the main goal for overall for all the country is invest on to increase the investments on renewable energy, namely wind and solar. Also to invest in energy efficient measures, and finally to increase the incentives for private investments. Uh, I'm proudly to say too, Cape Verde, considering the context of African small islands, is one of the few countries that actually have specific targets for the transport sector. The other islands already mentioned in the national contribution the need to address the transport sector for the for decarbonization. But Cape Verde is actually one of the few that has specific targets. So um, the major goal from that can be mentioned is the fact that they want to achieve 100% of electric vehicles circulating in the country by 2050. It's a very ambitious goal. I don't know if it's reachable or not. But that they have a series of short-term targets and long-term and medium targets in able to reach their goal. So maybe their strategy will be mainly investing in electrical vehicles, charging infrastructure to have a national cover to have in all the islands this infrastructure by 2035, adopting technological solutions to support the grid because with the introduction of electrical vehicles, we will have an increase of consumption of electricity. So the grid has to be prepared to for this increasing in demand, and also they want to support the market to enable vehicle to grid systems. Uh, the thing is, even though they have set several goals, the Cape Verde and almost all of the islands, they suffer with the same set of challenges. That they are keeping them from developing renewable energy strategies, let's say that. So first of all, islands are susceptible to supply chain disruption. As I mentioned before, they are highly dependent on the external market. So whatever happens to the world, it will happen to them too. And also very limited conventional energy resources. I think it's only a few islands from the Pacific that has oil resources, but even though it's a very limited quantity. Um, yeah. I also mentioned that they have this can bring very price volatility and also will lead to energy insecurity. In the case of Cape Verde in particular, we have some fuel distribution problems between the islands, inefficient storage options and logistics, and also inefficient electricity production. One of the main challenges for the national electricity company is the high level losses. And this is due to the energy insecurity. The Cape has actually one of the highest electricity prices in the world, so the population cannot afford the electricity. So what happens is like most of the time they resort to illegal means to obtain the electricity, and this is increasing the level of loss. So it's a major issue. So we also have the fact Cape Verde is, even though is a country that is progressing economically, it's still it, it's still a poor country, let's say like this basically. So renewable energies can be very expensive, and there is the need of substantial infrastructure investments in order to deploy more renewable energy. And also in Cape Verde, we have a particular problem that the country is the economy of the country is growing, and this is also bringing the increase in demand, especially when it comes in the summer period. People are now able to afford appliances such as, for instance, fans, air conditioner, to be able to deal with the high temperature. So this will, and we also have the fact Israel is a touristic country, so it's a lot of factors that will lead to the increase in demand. And we also have a problem that, for instance, production of renewable energy, it's very it's very seasonable. Like renewable energy is already we already have the intermittent problem, but in case of Cape Verde in particular, we have the fact that especially when the demand is high, the production of renewable electricity is very low, especially wind, and the majority of the main technology in Cape Verde is wind energy, wind farm production. But not everything is lost. Uh, there is still opportunities, and there is still ways to address. There is already studies that shows that renewable energy can actually solve most of problem most of the island issues. So um, actually studies prove that islands are seen as regions for that that shows the best condition for renewable energy strategy deployment. I think Irina stated that islands can meet most of their demands, if not all, um, using renewable energy sources. So in the case of Cape Verde in particular, we have an estimated capacity of 2,600 megawatts for renewable energy production distributed between wave energy, wind, solar, and also geothermal, because Cape Verde still has an active volcano. So there is studies saying that the country possibly has geothermal energy sources. So this can develop an renewable energy technologies, or planning for 100% renewable energy system can help the country reduce the dependence on imported fossil fuels. We also have the fact that Cape Verde has a very strategic location. It's close to it's close to Africa, it's close to Europe, and it's also close to South America. So these associated with strong political stability and very good human resources can contribute to attract more investments. And we also have the final fact that there is a lot of studies suggesting that islands can, because of their small systems, um, and because of their less complex energy system, and because of their abundant renewable energy sources, they can serve as experiment laboratories for for the other countries. So whatever is being developed, it can serve to test as an example, a sample to be implemented. In the context of West Africa, for instance, that is the region that we belong, I believe that it can highly contribute, because it's like you are developing a prototype, a small energy system that can be then implemented in a more successful way in the bigger countries. Um, that's all that I have for today. So thank you so much for your attention. If you have any questions, please let me know.
Um, Thank you so much, Katia, for that very insightful presentation. I think during the course of your presentation, we have the second speaker. I don't know if, yeah, I think he's available. So we're going to, if you have any questions for Katia, probably you maybe drop it in the chat. But for time's sake, we have to quickly move on to the next speaker. We have to quickly move on to the next speaker. So I'll be sharing his screen, his slides. I don't know if, oh, okay, I think I lost him for a bit. We'll just wait maybe 2-3 minutes to see maybe it's a technical issue and hopefully he joins back. But before then, please, if you have any questions or comments for Katia, maybe you can just drop it in the chat. Maybe you can just drop it in the chat so we can continue the conversation. We can do that in maybe 1-2 minutes. Okay, I'm going to take the absence of no question or comment as an indication that we all understood and comprehended everything from Katia's presentation. Okay. So in the absence of no question, I'm gonna just share the slide. Okay. So in the absence of no question, I want to say thank you to everyone who has taken out a few minutes of their time on the weekend to join this session, and also particularly to say a big thank you to Katia for her presentation. We really appreciate your time, and please follow us on our social media platform and be a part of our webinars. We are on Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, and Twitter, which is now X. So please kindly follow us so you can stay updated on all the sessions that we're going to be having or the ones that we've had. You can always catch up. And yeah, without further ado, thank you everyone and have a great weekend.
Thank you. Bye bye.
Hello. 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 Mm. Mm.